Hello, you're all very welcome here to Chadwick's Wexford Park for live coverage of the Enniscorthy Farm Systems Junior B football final of 2020, and this is the last county final of 2020 in Wexford to be played. Thankfully it's a beautiful sunny morning here in Wexford, and there's only a very slight breeze that seems to be blowing from right to left as you're looking at it on screen, but other than that conditions are perfect here. The pitch is in great condition, and we should be in for a good game of football here between Glynn Barntown and Crossabeg Ballymurn. I'm joined by Bill Evanston, who's making his debut in the commentary box today, I think, and Tom Dempsey, who's a veteran of the commentary box at this stage. So, Tom, first of all, the two sides here, you're obviously more familiar with the Glynn side than you will be with the Crossabeg Ballymurn team. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, well, I suppose the lads, it's been a brilliant championship for them, Peter. You know, they've come through the quarter-final obviously beat Crossabeg by 2 points in the district final, but they came through the quarter-final after extra time against Ferns, an absolutely brilliant game. They're a very young team. They were fairly comfortable against Ballymurn in the semi-final, but they're a very young team. They're really good ball players, and you know, they have stars nearly in every line, but really the man that stood out for me this year probably has been Luke Codd. He's been just absolutely fantastic. Very good underage player, and he'll generally be taking the frees. Donald Buckley is coming in with a couple of points every day as well, and then to have Barry Ryan, you know, Jim's son, playing in, he could be centre back or full back, has done very, very well. And of course we have the veteran Pascal Carley in the goal. So 2 points in the district final. Conor Shovlin is back for Crossabeg. It's very hard to call here, Peter.
And Bill, what can you tell us then about the Crossabeg Ballymurn team? Who are the danger men, or the men likely to play a big part for the team?
Yeah, look at I suppose you have a mixture of youth and experience there in the team. I suppose a late change to the team was James Dixon, and Joe Kelly coming in for him, and Owen Keogh is also carrying a knock, and it looks like he is left on the bench as well, which is actually a massive loss for Crossabeg Ballymurn here, as he's a main scoring threat. But look, as I said, there's a mix of experience and youth on the team, and hopefully they can give it a lash today.
So the referee Damien Donovan throws in the ball, and the first to win clean possession is David Keogh for Crossabeg Ballymurn, off to his midfield partner Conor Shovlin. Conor just slips as he tries to gather that, and there was a little bit of a clash there, I think, between the Glynn Barntown man and Conor Shovlin as he slipped and fell that time, and the referee is just checking upon him there.
And I think it's Damien Donovan is down in the middle today. He's a great icon of referees, really, isn't he? I don't know what age Damien is now at the moment, but he's a very fit man, and he's given great service over the years. So hopefully Damien will have a good game today as well, Peter. We'll probably point out if he's not having a good one anyway.
So an indirect free, I think it is, for Crossabeg Ballymurn after that injury to Conor Shovlin, taken by Cian Kinlock over towards Evan Kinlock, and there's a chance here for Crossabeg Ballymurn to open the scoring. There's a cheer at the far side, and it's gone over the bar. I think the umpire was waving the wrong flag there. I think he wasn't sure. It wasn't a goal, certainly, anyway. But
it'll be the highest green flag that we ever saw in our lives, I'd say.
I think that was a fantastic score. I think it's going to be given, but we'll just double check.
Yeah, I think Evan Kinlock was a late sub in there, but a great left foot on him by all accounts, and if he gets time and space, he'll throw them over all day.
So a good start for Crossabeg Ballymurn with that score from Evan Kinlock. High kick out this time now from Pascal Carley. It lands out around the middle of the field, and on the ball now is Owen O'Connor. Owen is trying to get away from Thomas Doyle, but is dispossessed there, and Doyle has it back now for Glynn Barntown. Their first chance to really get possession of the ball. Jeremy McGetterick with it, looking for his options. Forward here to the centre back, Barry Ryan. Barry picks out Rory Fenlon further forward. There's plenty of movement in this Glynn Barntown forward line. Can they create the scoring opportunities? Or will Crossabeg keep them out? That's a good ball forward. There's a chance here now for Luke Codd, as Tom mentioned beforehand. He's a dangerous forward. Can he get the better of Michael Cullen? He can, but that shot has gone to the right hand side and wide. And decent start for Crossabeg Ballymurn, but we've seen there, Bill, what Luke Codd can do in the forward line for Glynn Barntown.
Yeah, look, he looks dangerous already as he gets on the ball, and it's just clear you see Crossabeg are trying to just congest it at the back, dropping back Declan Byrne. But as said, if you give a forward of his calibre a bit of space, he'll punish you.
James White with the kick out. He aims it toward David Keoghan. Spilled on the first occasion, but Keogh gets the flick back to Owen O'Connor, and it's here now with Cian Kinlock. Keane lays it off there to Shane O'Rourke, but the ball is spilled and Glynn Barntown have it back and have a chance to make something happen. Dave Roach lays it off here as far as Kieran Joyce, and it's back into the middle of the field now, and there's plenty of noise here in Chadwick's Wexford Park, but there was too many steps taken by Tom Butler, and Glynn have yet to settle really, Tom, I think.
Yeah, you see what it is, Peter, here, they're a very, very young team. You know, you go down through the Barry Ryan, the guys, Chris Flood, all these guys, very Thomas style, you know, they're all 18, 19, 20. They have a bit of experience there with Jeremy Getterick, and the likes of Pascal in the goal and that, but they are in the main a very, very young team. And Wexford Park, it's a big setting for young fellas like this, and Crossabeg look to have a little bit of an edge at the moment.
Cian Kinlock sends that one long in towards the full forward line, but quickest to it is Gary Sutton. He gets there ahead of Barry Coughlin, but Coughlin is still keeping the pressure on. It's back in here to Jeremy Getterick, and Pascal Carley has come off the goal line to provide an option there, and Carley still has it, charging out of defence here. Offloaded to Barry Ryan. Low ball from Barry, and it's a good ball, and just trying to get it under control there was Kieran Joyce, but he was tackled well by the Crossabeg Ballymurn half-back Owen O'Connor, and there's a chance maybe for Ballymurn to get a score again. Owen O'Connor has continued his run further forward, and the shot has gone off to the right hand side and wide, but it's been a bright start from Owen O'Connor overall, Bill. Yeah,
like Owen, I suppose he's been hit hard with injuries there for the last good few years, but he's finally striking a good bit of form there now. So he's a good runner. If he gets, he'll attack the space if he gets a chance. And look, he was a bit unlucky there, not hit it over the bar, but just needs to settle up and knock it over the next time.
So if just over 4 minutes gone here in Chadwick's Wexford Park, Crossabeg Ballymurn lead by 1 point to no score. They're playing with if you're just joining us, they're playing with the slight breeze here in Wexford Park. It's not as strong as it can often be here, but it's still strong enough to make a little bit of a difference as the game is underway again. David Keogh wins that kick out, the second one in a row. Toe poked forward to Shane O'Rourke, and he sends it further on into the full forward line to Joe Kelly, who's in there. Back here to David Keogh again, and Crossabeg Ballymurn certainly have got the better of these open exchanges. Billy Roach with the ball laid off here now again, and to David Keogh. David is tackled but manages to get it back from Shane O'Rourke, and there's a chance maybe, but the Glynn Barntown defence are there in numbers too. Shane O'Rourke kicks it forward, it finds its way to Barry Ryan for Glynn Barntown. Barry turns back maybe into a little bit of traffic but manages to lay it off. Dave Roach now with it, and that was well dealt with there by the Glynn Barntown defence, but the pass forward was a little bit loose. Back here now again with Gary Sutton, and Gary is fouled, and Glynn have a chance maybe to go on the attack now, Tom.
Yeah, and they're probably lucky at this stage, Peter, to be only a point down, because there have been some great attacks from Crossabeg Ballymurn. They seem to be just physically dominating at the moment. You know, I have to say their intensity seems to be at a little bit of a higher level than Glynn, but I know Glynn will settle down in the game at the moment, and the likes of David Roach, Tom Butler, they have the ability to kind of bring a big threat to midfield, but at the moment the midfield battle has been won by Crossabeg Ballymurn.
That's Glynn Barntown with the ball now. Jeremy Getterick back inside. He was tackled by Billy Roach, but it's here now with Chris Flood. Chris forward, and there's a little bit of space here now maybe for Dave Roach to run at the Crossabeg Ballymurn defence. He was slowed down there by the Crossabeg defence, but it's here now with Luke Codd. Luke has come out a little bit from the full forward line to try and get his hands on the ball. Sent in forward here as far as Killian Joyce. Conal McGuinness now. He has Thomas Doyle inside, but he has Luke Codd outside, and Codd has it now back in towards Killian Joyce. Killian is fouled according to the referee, and a chance for Glynn Barntown to get a score. I think the foul was by Josh Waldron there, Bill, was it?
Josh Waldron, yeah, just a quick tug in the jersey there to Killian Joyce, but that's what Barntown might need, just to settle him down. Quick free. if someone can knock it over the bar, just get a foothold in the game. As I said, Crossabeg probably got off to a brighter start, but I said they're only 1 point down, as Tom said. I said if he can just knock this over, settle them up, it's just what they need.
It's an awkward free as well, Bill. You know, a young Dan O'Regan, Michael's brother now, he's a left-footed. Michael was a right-footed free taker, but he's very, very accurate. But this, the first free, and it's an awkward one, but it's always vital to get that one right to settle you down and to settle the team down. But good work from Glynn Barntown, David Roach and the lads there that time.
So we have silence here in Wexford Park as Dan O'Regan takes that free and it just turns in nicely and over the bar. An excellent free that is, Tom, with the left foot swinging in from a tight angle.
Absolutely. That was a really awkward one, and it tested Dan. The one thing about Dan, he's a great nerve for those frees, you know, and they bring him up for wing back to take him, but it was really nicely floated in, and that'll really settle him down. It'll settle the team down as well, because Glynn, you know, they probably shouldn't be level at this stage the way Crossabeg have played in the first few minutes.
And that kick out goes all the way through to Joe Kelly for Crossabeg Ballymurn, laid off here to the half-back Conor Gormley, who's further up the field, and Shane O'Rourke. That's an excellent ball in, and maybe there's a chance for Crossabeg Ballymurn to get a goal here inside. A shot from Barry Coughlin has gone to the left-hand side and wide, and maybe taken in a little bit of a hurry there, Bill.
Yeah, look, it's probably his first time he got his hands on the ball, and you know, when you're 8 yards out and there's a man on you, it's easier said than done to put in the back of the net. But look, I said if Crossabeg can just control over a few of these chances, even just to knock that over the bar and get the points on the board.
Barry Ryan with it now, sent forward to Thomas Doyle. Thomas is tackled by Declan Byrne, but still has the ball and he has options outside him. But that foot tap has gone astray, and Crossabeg Ballymurn have the chance to go on the attack again. Shane O'Rourke with the ball forward in as far as Evan Kinlock, who got that first point for Crossabeg Ballymurn, and now he's added a second to it, and a very bright start for Evan, and Crossabeg go back into the lead, Bill. Yeah,
as I said, Evan was a late sub, actually the last sub to come on, but great left foot in him, and he will hit them over all day of the week. So look, I said nice just to knock us back a point up again. So.
And the minute the turnover that time as well, you know, Shane O'Rourke was very quick to get the ball back down the field, long ball. It was good thinking from him as well.
David Keogh wins that kick out. I think it's his third win of a kick out in this first half already. Declan Byrne flicks it forward here as far as Barry Coughlin, and there's a great chance of a goal here. Cian Kinlock with the ball, and it is a goal for Crossabeg Ballymurn. An excellent work there from David Keogh to win the kick out. Given off then and to Barry Coughlin and finished by Cian Kinlock.
Yeah, Cian Kinlock, a brother of Evan, so between the two of them they've hit all the scores for Crossabeg Ballymurn so far. But look, a well worked play there by Crossabeg, and as I said, there was a good bit of space there in the full back line for Barntown, so maybe just a small bit tighter back there.
Yeah, and it's a big score at this stage of the game. You know, it's a 4 point lead, and it's probably no more than they deserve, but Glynn really will want to try and get their hands on the ball a bit more. And
that kick out was won by the other Crossabeg midfielder, Conor Shovden. He flicked it to David Keogh, but it's out here now, and Evan Kinlock sends this one forward into the corner to Conor Gormley, who's up the field again. Back to Kinlock. Shane O'Rourke is here. He's had an impact in a couple of Crossabeg Ballymurn scores so far. Owen O'Connor skipping one way and then the other, and has managed to get clear in a little bit of space now for Owen O'Connor to take the shot, and the crowd are cheering at the far side, and the ball has gone over the bar, and Crossabeg Ballymurn now lead by 5 in a flash, Bill. Yeah,
and I said after Owen O'Connor's first miss there, that'll settle him down lovely. I said a great footballer, and when he gets a bit of space, Joe, he can really penetrate any defence. So yeah, and back to a 5 point game now.
And Crossabeg Ballymurn are really dominant in the midfield battle so far.
They are, you know, they're physically very, very strong, you know, and the likes of Conor Shovlin, David Keogh are going very, very well. And as I say, Glynn want to be careful just not to let this little lead kind of go too far ahead, because, you know, that was probably the third goal chance that Crossabeg had, and they are creating openings down there.
And that kick out was sliced slightly and out for a line ball here for Crossabeg Ballymurn, taken by Cian Kinlock. The run of Shane O'Rourke was spotted, and he was found with the ball. The first touch wasn't great, however, and it was almost gone wide. I think it stuck on the line down there. Joe Kelly was there and flicked it away, but
I thought the ball was wide now that time. I thought the umpire took up a very, very strange position. He took almost to the far side of the goal when the ball was on that side, so I think the Glynn Barntown player thought it was probably wide as well, but it results in a free in for Crossabeg, and again it's an awkward one. But
yeah, Cian Kinlock, a good soccer player as well, so it might suit him just to curl it in, but as you said, Tom, tough free.
And that is a dangerous ball, but it was well dealt with by Pascal Carley in the Glynn Barntown goal. Sent out long here as far as Kieran Joyce. Kieran is being chased by Owen O'Connor, but looks comfortable on the ball. Just as I said, he was blocked, and Aidan Foley is the linesman at the far side. Glynn Barntown line ball. Game underway again. Dan O'Regan flicks it forward here into a bit of space here. There's a chance maybe for Glynn Barntown. They badly need a score. There's 5 points in it. Can they get the score? Gary Sutton finds his way up, long way up the field, and it's back here with Luke Codden across as far as Tom Butler. And Tom looks at the post and sends it in towards the goal. It's going to land in dangerously, but it's well caught by James White in the Crossabeg Ballymurn goal. He's tackled, and there's going to be a free out. And good goalkeeping there, Bill.
Yeah, James, he's top class keeper. Probably unlucky not to be closer to the first team, but you just see, just from Crossabeg's point of view, Declan Burns just dropping back just into the outside of the D, and just congestion up that space. But I said there is space up there for Barntown if they just get the right men on the ball. Just need maybe a point or two just to settle them down again.
Little bit of confusion down there. Damien Donovan's called a wide ball, but the ball wasn't wide. The goalie was fouled coming out, so it's almost the same thing anyway. But it should be a free rather than a kick. But I don't think it's going to make a big difference. But good bit of handling that time from James White. And
White with the kick out now. He aims for David Keogh. It's gone a little bit too high on that occasion, but the ball breaks across the big Ballymurn again. He's a push on Joe Kelly there by Barry Ryan. Kelly gets the bit soft, the Crossabeg Ballymurn man says here, but it's forward here as far as Shane O'Rourke, and maybe it'll work out well. But O'Rourke, that was definitely a push in the back anyway. At that time there was no soft about that one, but it was
But Peter, what Crossabeg seem to be very good at, they're closing up their own defence, and they're drawing the Glynn Barntown centre back. Barry Ryan is one of the best footballers we have, but they're trying to draw Barry out, and they're leaving an awful lot of space up front, which is causing Glynn Barntown a lot of problems at the moment.
Yeah, it's just a quick ball in there, and like in the last few occasions you've seen Shane O'Rourke on a few balls there, and just like a ball like that can open up any defence. So
we'll see now if Keane Kinloch can score this one. It's a higher kick, it's going to turn in, and it's very nicely scored there. And as you say, Keane very confident with the frees, Bill.
Very confident, yeah. As I said, he's a natural soccer player as well as a footballer, so that kind of like with a bit of a breeze there, that kind of suited him down to the ground. So as I said, another nice point for him. So an early 6-point lead here for Crossabeg Ballymurn as we approach the water break in the first half. The lead by 1-4 to a point here after 14 minutes as Pascal Carley goes short of the kick out this time. Glynn Barntown maybe need to change the tactics. The Crossabeg Ballymurn midfielders were certainly very tall men and very good in the air, so the short kick out might be the plan for plenty of the Glynn Barntown kick outs now, as Thomas Doyle sends that one into the middle to Tom Butler. Tom has the head up and is looking maybe for the run of Rory Fenlon, who's come way out looking for it, and it was a good run, but Butler still has it. Maybe got away with 4.5 steps there, but still here with the Glynn Barntown man. He didn't get away with it the second time, and certainly the upper hand for Crossabeg Ballymurn so far, Tom.
Yeah, Tom, he's had a brilliant season, and he's after switching in centre forward and probably switching Thomas Doyle back out to the midfield. Thomas is a brilliant footballer, and he's more of a defender, I suppose, than a forward, so it has made a difference. Thomas doing okay centre forward, and Thomas has got a kind of a grip in the middle of the field, so that might be a bit of help to Glynn Barntown now at the moment.
And Billy Roach took the line ball from a couple of yards inside the line there. And
yeah, I think if Glynn Barntown just get a quicker ball into the inside forward line, there's actually lots of good runs being made in there, just possibly holding on to the ball a bit too long in the middle of the field. But there is good runs being made, and they get that ball in quick, I said they can really capitalise on it.
So the ball is thrown up, and it's well won by Glynn Barntown there, and they have a free. Taken quickly, sent in forward here as far as Killian Joyce, but Killian is dispossessed by some good defending. That's a loose pass by David Keogh to Declan Byrne, but Byrne calmly flicks it on to Conor Shovlin. Conor has the head up, and a good ball, low ball in towards Barry Coughlin here, and there's a chance maybe for him and Crossabeg Ballymurn to extend their lead. Offloaded to Joe Kelly. Joe inside as far as Evan Kinloch, who's got 2 fantastic points off his left foot so far. Is this a third? The crowd are cheering, the umpire's waving the flag, and that's 3 really brilliant points for Evan Kinloch so far, Bill.
Yeah, as I said, that's 3 off his left there now. When you get that first one, the second and the third come that bit easier, but no, that was as good a score as you see in any grade in football. So yeah, I said he's getting a bit of space out there, so possibly need to tighten up a small bit there as we head into the water break.
Yes.
So we have the water break here, Tom, and if you were the Glynn Barntown management team, what would you be trying to do to maybe overturn or to turn around the game? The last time these teams met, it was Glynn who came out on top in the Wexford District Final, so
yeah,
the potential is there.
I think that there's no doubt the potential is there. I think what Glynn need to do, Peter, is maybe compress their backs a little bit, because at the moment our full back line are being left very exposed with the type of ball that's going in. Obviously the Kinlocks are doing very, very well in the half forward and the full forward line, but we're leaving our backs very open, and then when we go to attack, it's been crowded an awful lot, which is the way to play really football by Crossabeg. And I think Bill is right that Glynn probably need to let the ball off a little bit quicker, because a quicker ball gives a faster forward maybe a little bit of a chance to kind of get away. Kind of Crossabeg on the other hand are doing it very, very quickly, and it was really emphasised that time. It was just Shane O'Rourke when there was a turnover, ball straight down the field, and the game was open for Crossabeg Ballymurn. So I think they've moved. Tom Butler will do well centre forward. Thomas Doyle is getting onto a bit of ball now around the middle of the field, so there's a bit of parity coming around that area. But 1-5 to a point, it's a 7-point lead. It's a big lead at this stage in the first water break, and it probably wasn't something that Glynn had expected really, but and the other thing I'd say down there, Peter, I'd say the heat down there is quite unbelievable, and between nervousness and heat, a young team, I think we're just slowly getting a little bit slower to settle in at the moment.
And from a Crossabeg Ballymurn point of view, Bill, you must be very pleased with the 7-point lead so far in the first quarter.
Yeah, look, as you said, it probably wasn't expected, because the two teams are very evenly matched in the district final. 7 points. Look, Crossabeg Ballymurn have the wind, but at the same time, they're just, I suppose, utilising the ball a bit more, getting that quick ball into the full forward line. You have lots of lads making space. Shane O'Rourke there, centre forward, and then obviously the two Kinlocks are flying. So to keep going the way they're going, and as Tom said, congestion the back, and working up quick and into the full forward line, I said there could be a few more scores, but I think Barntown just need to settle down a bit more, play the ball through the hands, and then let it in quick from the halfway line. Yeah,
I think Bill, we like our full forward line, Killian, they're a very, very potent full forward line, the likes of Killian Joyce, Luke Codd, and they're just not getting enough ball. They're getting no ball really at the moment.
No.
Short kick out breaks here to Shane O'Rourke for Crossabeg Ballymurn, and there's an early ball in towards Barry Coughlin, but Pascal Carley is quickly out of his line and is fouled. There's a free out now for Glynn Barntown, taken by Jeremy Getterick, but from the wrong position, I think. So we'll go back and take it again. If you're just joining us, Crossabeg Ballymurn lead by 7 points. They're playing with the breeze here in Chadwick's Wexford Park in the first half. There's 17 minutes gone as Glynn Barntown are looking to build from deep here with Barry Ryan. Barry's toe tap went astray a little bit, but managed to retrieve it and get it back to Gary Sutton. Gary here to Thomas Doyle. Thomas has been brought out from the half forward line into the middle of the field and has got on a few balls, as Tom said a few moments ago. Here to Gary Sutton and Tom Butler again, and Glynn Barntown have a bit of space in that full forward line if they opt to send the ball in there. There's a strong tackle by Josh Waldron, but a fair one, and maybe the follow-up tackle was a little bit overzealous there as Glynn Barntown get the ball long into Luke Codd. Luke is being chased by Michael Cullen there, but a twist and a turn from Codd maybe will make a little bit of space here to get the scoring opportunity, but some great defending by Shane O'Rourke to put the pressure on. Codd just can't get that split second he needs to get the shot away. A low ball in towards Killian Joyce and a push by Declan Byrne, and a free in now to Glynn Barntown, and that was better by Glynn Barntown.
Absolutely, and a great long ball in by Tom Butler that time. It's exactly what you were saying, Bill. Just get the ball in quicker. Luke Codd is out in front. He held up, Crossabeg were pushing him out, held the ball up really nicely, and then into Killian and a free in. And really, I think that's the key. They need to kind of work the ball to midfield and give the long ball into a full forward line, because Rory Fenlon, Killian and Luke, they're a good mixture of a full forward line if they can get that ball in. But it's a pretty straightforward free for Dan. I hope I'm not putting the hex on him here now, but it's a good score, an important score for Glynn at this stage if we can get it.
No hex there, that's over the bar, and a second nicely pointed free there by Dan O'Regan, the half back from Glynn Barntown, and that might help settle Glynn Barntown down a little bit as the gap is now close to 6 points. James White is just getting ready to take the kick out.
He looks a pretty accomplished goalkeeper the way he handled the ball there in the first half as well. He's a good goalkeeper, Bill, isn't he?
And as I said, he's probably unlucky not to be probably closer to the first team, but he's a great kick out, great shot stopper.
Yeah.
And I said I'd have every confidence in him anyway.
Sure, obviously your first team goalkeeper Bill Ben Turner is very hard to displace there in the goal as well.
That's very true.
As good as he is, but that's another push maybe by Declan Byrne on Killian Joyce. So that's 2 pushes now and 2 frees, and another opportunity for Dan O'Regan to bring Glynn Barntown further back into the game.
Yeah, again direct ball, but I have to give Killian Joyce a lot of credit there. He's getting out in front. He's a big physical presence. Killian has been out for a while, had been injured and that, but he's a really good physical presence. He's won the last 2 frees, but again coming from a direct ball in. But this is it's a very difficult free for Dan here this time, but he's been top class on him so far. Place has gone silent for this free. There's a lot of tension out there.
That one went astray a little bit, but is still going to linger around the danger zone. Conor Gormley was up for Crossabeg Ballymurn. That ball perhaps looked like it was taken off the ground, but there's a chance here for Dan O'Regan again in a push. And is he just inside or is he just outside? The arms are slightly out and slightly in. And we need.
I have to say, Peter, it's a VAR one, that one, because he was moving into inside the 14, and I tell you, you'd have to see it again, nearly, Bill, wouldn't you? Because he looked slightly outside, was he?
I'm going to put my neck in the line and say that he was pushed just slightly outside and he landed in the square. So I think the referee might have got this one just right.
I think he did. In fairness to Damien, it was a good one. He didn't panic, took a time making the decision.
And if he had got through there, it was a great chance. It was probably it's a great thing. It's a free to Glynn Barntown from Crossbank point of view.
And no mistake there by Luke Codd, who sends the resultant free over the bar. And we're back to a 5-point game now, Bill. And in any game, teams get their time on top, like, and this is Glynn Barntown's time so far in this game. Yeah,
like I said, it's just ever since the water break, they came out with a bit more life. And look, they said the 2 corner forwards, Luke Codd, Rory Fenlon, look, they have electric pace in there. And they said if they can just get the lads on the ball and even draw them frees, keep tipping them over, because they said they're against the wind for this half, so they can come out in the second half with the wind.
And that ball is all the way through to Conor Gormley, offloaded to Billy Roach. Billy faint to shoot, but lays it off here as far as Cian Kinlock, who scored 1-1 so far in the game. Offloaded again, and there's another chance back to Kinlock again. A low shot. Pascal Carley gets a great hand to it and deflects it around the post and out for a 45. And that was a great dive and a great save by Pascal Carley there.
It was, and again, it was Cian Kinlock. He's a fantastic footballer, and I have to say that Pascal Carley has been we wouldn't be in a county final but for him this year. He's been absolutely fantastic in the Glynn goal this year, and you know what? He may just have saved Glynn's chances there, because another goal for Crossabeg at this stage would have really put us in trouble. Fantastic save, full stretch, and but a brilliant move from Crossabeg as well. They really are cutting through there very nicely.
Yeah, both keepers I think doing very well in fairness in the first opening half, but crucial save, as you said, Tom. He said that would be a real sucker punch to Glynn Barntown.
So we have the 45 to be taken now by Cian Kinlock. He looks to have the distance but not the accuracy on this occasion. It's off to the right hand side and wide. That's 3 wides now for Crossabeg Ballymurn, while Glynn Barntown have kicked 1 wide. 8 minutes plus injury time left to go here in the first half of the Enniscorthy Farm Systems Junior B Championship final for 2020.
It's going to be a real test of fitness out there today as well, Peter, with the heat, and it's such a massive pitch that is Wexford Park. It'll really take its toll come the second half of the water break.
And that kick out was deflected down by Crossabeg Ballymurn, and it's in here to Joe Kelly and offloaded again as far as Cian Kinlock. Cian is trying to get away from Conal McGuinness, and McGuinness was judged to have fouled Kinlock there, and a free in now for Crossabeg Ballymurn. And Tom, often a feature of any Junior B team at any grade is a few bigger bellies, I suppose, but there's none of them out here really on this team. Both teams look very fit.
Not at all. That day is gone, and I have to be honest with you, I don't know about Bill, but Glynn Barntown would have put a huge effort into their preparation in this. They would have played a lot of practice matches, and I tell you where they are as well, Peter. You tend to see now more the younger fella that's trying to make the breakthrough to senior to intermediate on these teams, and like there would be a lot of those Glynn Barntown fellas would have played in Premier Minor finals over the last couple of years, the likes of Tom Butler, Conal McGuinness, guys like that, David Roach. David would have captained a Fela winning team in Wexford under 14. So this is competitive, and I have to say the standard of football is excellent out there at the moment.
Yeah.
And that free was pointed by Evan Kinlock. That's his 4th point of the game so far, and Crossabeg Ballymurn have 1-6. Josh Waldron trying to get away from the attentions of the Glynn man there, and it's back with Cian Kinlock, who finds his way himself back in the half-back line here for Crossabeg Ballymurn. He's scored 1-1 so far and has looked very, very lively and very dangerous in that forward line for Crossabeg Ballymurn. Conor Shovanin with it now in the middle of the field. The Glynn Barntown midfielders are trying to put the pressure on. Tom Butler was there, but Shovelin manages to get away, and it's offloaded here as far as Joe Kelly. Joe on the 45-metre line. Further over to Cian Kinlock, a shot off his right foot from Cian, but that one has gone to the right. And on this occasion, Cian didn't manage to point it there, Bill, but good move.
Good move, yeah. As I said, Cian Kinlock is getting a lot of space and a lot of time on the ball. Probably needs to just be that bit tighter from Glynn Barntown point of view. But as I said, it's just another wasted opportunity, really. But another wide for Crossabeg Ballymurn. But you know, they're going the right direction. That
kick out was short and low, and there's a scramble for it here. I think it was touched on the ground, it was, and it was spotted by the referee, and a free now to Glynn Barntown. And the ball was thrown away, so that's going to be brought up another little bit.
Yeah. I think overall there's two very young teams out there today, by all accounts. As you said, there's not a whole lot of lads with bellies out there, and a lot of lads with a lot of youth, so hopefully fitness won't play a factor. Good
ball forward by Shane O'Rourke in as far as Evan Kinlock, and this is danger now for Glynn and Crossabeg, and another fabulous save by Pascal Carley in the Glynn Barntown goal, and that was really dangerous. It could be 3-6 here only for Pascal there now.
Absolutely, that was an absolutely super save, and it's worrying the ease that Crossabeg are getting through there. But I have to say, Pascal, he's probably on a man of the match performance almost. I know the Kinlocks on the other side are playing great stuff as well, but an absolutely brilliant save there from Pascal Carley, and you know, he's kept Glynn in the game really at this stage.
And Bill, Shane O'Rourke has a quite unusual style of kicking the ball, but he seems to be fairly accurate so far, and based on what we've seen.
Yeah, I think Shane's more probably a hurling man coming from Clare now, but he picked up the big ball there not so long ago, and we tried to convert him, but he does, but it is effective, and he's getting on a lot of balls, so he's a workhorse in fairness to him.
Barry Coughlin now with 45. Didn't really connect with it as well as he had hoped, but the ball breaks here to Billy Roach. And the danger is still there, and that's a kick from Billy Roach, but it's going to turn to the left hand side and wide. So that's 5 wides now for Crossabeg Ballymurn, and still a 6-point lead for Crossabeg.
Yeah, and I see Conall McGuinness now has taken the charge of Cian Kinlock's running, because Cian is just all over the field at the moment, so Conall will probably just man mark him now for the next while, I'm sure.
Another short kick out now for Glynn Barntown, and finds its way to Donald Buckley. Donald offloads it to Conall McGuinness and back inside again, and Glynn are being patient with this one. Gary Sutton across the half-back line there. Good ball as far as Dan O'Regan. Dan takes it high and offloads it again to Barry Ryan. Barry has a little bit of space in front of him now to maybe make something happen for Glynn Barntown in attack. There's plenty of movement in the full forward line. Luke Codd is pointing to where he wants it, but it's here with Kieran Joyce, and gets in as far as Luke Codd, who's got a point so far, being chased by Michael Cullen. Codd is trying to get away, but Cullen is tenacious there. Codd has got the better side of him. A shot from Luke Codd and a point for Glynn Barntown, and great score, as you say, Tom.
Yeah, that was, I'd say, one of the best scores of the game, because he was kind of at full pelt. The cornerback was doing a great job, Michael Cullen, and he took it off his right foot at an angle to the goal on the wrong side of the goal. It was probably, from Glynn Barntown, definitely the best score of the game today. So a great score from Luke Codd. And again, we're saying, Peter and Bill, 164 points, 5-point game at the moment, lads, and Crossabeg could look back at some of the chances they're after missing now at this stage.
And Conor Shovelin wins the breaking ball from the kick out there, and is trying to get away from David Roach. Back here to David Keogh and Declan Byrne. Billy Roach has come all the way out from the full forward line, sends the kick pass over towards the far side, and Crossabeg Ballymurn are looking to launch another scoring opportunity here. Joe Kelly with it back inside as far as Declan Byrne. Declan offloads it as far as Cian Kinlock. Cian turns back, but there's a bit more of a blanket in the defence there for Glynn Barntown, but can they close down Conor Shovelin? Forward here as far as Shane O'Rourke. Offloaded again to Cian Kinlock. Cian has a bit of time to take the right-footed shot in towards Barry Coughlin. Was he pushed, or did he stumble? That's the big question, but there's no free being given except...
I'd say, Peter, he'd have got a free anywhere else in the field other than in the penalty box that time, And
lucky there, in fairness to him. One-on-one there, about 8 yards out, but you're right, you're right, Tom. If that was anywhere else in the field, I'd say Damien we'd blown that up.
Yeah, he took a gulp of air, I'd say, that time, Bill.
Jeremy Getterick with it now. The hand pass has gone a little bit too heavy, and line ball now for Crossabeg Ballymurn. We have about a minute and a small bit until we have injury time here. There'll probably be another minute or two of injury time. There hasn't really been very many stoppages. Conor Shovelin sends it forward. And there's an overlap here. Owen O'Connor's continue to run, and there's a great overlap and a great chance here for Crossabeg Ballymurn. A shot and another brilliant save by Pascal Carley. And it seems, Bill, that it's going to have to be a fairly accurate and a fairly well placed shot to get by Pascal.
Like that's 3 goals now. Like that's 9 points, and you know, very good goal chances. You know, there weren't any easy saves. And in fairness to Pascal Carley, he's keeping him in the game at this stage. But in fairness to Glynn Barntown, you know, they just need to get back on top a bit. But only for Pascal, it could be a lot worse in the scoreline.
And just on that, best wishes to Pascal's dad, Willie, who we all know who's in hospital at the moment, Willie, or Peter. We're all thinking about Willie at the moment. But I'll tell you one thing, his son is doing him proud out there today.
And the 45 was given short and taken back, and it's here with David Keogh, a shot, and that one has gone over the bar. So Crossabeg Ballymurn go back into that 6-point lead, 1-7 to 4 points here as we approach half time.
And you know, it's funny, if they were taking their points instead of the goals, now they are kind of cast iron opportunities, but there'd be 3 or 4 more points up at this stage, you know.
And David Keogh has had a very good first half so far, Bill, but I'll come back to you once this attack goes, and it's here now with Cian Kinloch, and there's another chance maybe for Crossabeg Ballymurn to get an extra score just before half time. The shot from Evan Kinloch, and that's his 5th point of this first half, and a good solid finish to the half, Bill.
Yeah, as I said, he's making a statement. As I said before, like he's only after coming in there just as an injury sub at the start of the game, but 5 points from any forward, even over the course of a whole match, is a serious tally, you know. But you know, Crossabeg are going into the wind in the second half, you know, and they're 7 points up. So look, it could be worse for Barntown, but at the same time, could still be all to play for.
So a strong finish to the first half here by Crossabeg Ballymurn. Just to run through their scores of the 1-8, if you haven't been with us for the whole of the first half, Cian Kinloch has 1-1, Evan Kinloch has 5 points, Owen O'Connor has a point, and David Keogh has a point. And then the Glynn Barntown 4 points, Dan O'Regan has 2 pointed frees, and Luke Codd has 2 points, and one of those coming from a free as well. So Crossabeg Ballymurn have had 5 wides, and Glynn Barntown have had 1 wide. So we'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes with coverage of the second half. So the teams have just arrived back out for the second half here in Chadwick's Wexford Park in the Enniscorthy Farm Systems Junior B Football Championship Final of 2020. And it's Crossabeg Ballymurn who've had the upper hand in the first half. They lead by 7 points here, 1-8 to 4 points. They have been playing with the aid of that breeze, Tom, and perhaps as we were talking, the way for Glynn to get back into the game was to let the ball into the full forward line a little bit quicker. Maybe they'll be able to do that a little bit more easily in this second half.
Hopefully they will, and in fairness, one of the things as well that they don't have, Peter, is Brendan Doyle and Dara Byrne were impact subs, very good footballers that they were able to use, but both are injured today as well, so they won't have that lift. But certainly, get the ball in quick. And I see Michael Laffin has been introduced into the middle of the field there, number 17, so Michael will probably add a good physical presence to that as well.
So Crossabeg Ballymurn on the ball now. Declan Byrne over the far side to Owen O'Connor, and a low ball in towards Barry Coughlin. Barry is being chased by Gary Sutton there and has to go backwards as far as Declan Byrne. Good challenge by Sutton, but it's here with Coughlin again. Inside to Connor Shovlin. Connor is being closed down by Michael Laffin, who, as Tom just said, has been brought in there at half time. We're not 100% sure who he's been brought in for yet, but we'll try and bring that to you now in a moment or two, as the free there is given for a foul on Crossabeg Ballymurn player who
Connor Shovlin.
Connor Shovlin it is,
yeah, strong runner. Like Connor Shovlin actually hasn't played GA, I suppose, for the last 3 or 4 years between being in the army and Australia and bits and pieces. So, but he was an integral part of our intermediate A winning team. He's actually the captain. So he's back now, and he's back loving football again. So it was a great and strong run by him.
Just trying to work out who's actually gone off. I think it could be Conor McGuinness says it. Yeah, he's gone off at the moment. It's funny the way players they play everywhere at the moment. You're looking across the field for a corner back, and you might have to look up at the car forward trying to find them. It's amazing the way the game has gone, really.
So the free taken there, I think it's been sent a little bit too far to the right hand side by Cian Kinlock and has gone wide. So a let off there for Glynn Barntown as the score remains 1-8 to 4 points here, Bill.
Yeah, I suppose, look, that's another white to add to the tally for Crossabeg. But look, I said it's a tough breeze to play against too, and it's tough for the free takers as well.
Donald Buckley now with the ball. Let off as far as Thomas Doyle. Thomas sends a high ball in. That's more of a backs ball really, and it is won by the back Michael Cullen there, and back to Billy Roach and Declan Byrne again, and that was dealt with nicely there by the cornerback Michael Cullen. There's a bit of space over this side here for Conor Gormley. Plenty of movement in the forward line as well for Crossabeg Ballymurn. Laid off there by Evan Kinlock, and it finds its way all the way back to Conor Gormley, who continued his good run there, and Gormley tries to pick out a pass, but it's well intercepted by the number 12 there, Donald Buckley for Glynn Barntown, who's been brought maybe back out further out the field here as the substitute Michael Laffin is trying to make a bit of ground with it, and that's a good ball into the forward line as all the way in as far as Ben McGuinness, who's also been brought in for Glynn Barntown. He was named in the starting 1 to 15 but didn't start, but has been brought in now, and Luke Codd is trying to twist and turn into a bit of space over here to David Roach. David on the 20 metre line, back to Luke Codd again. Luke is a right footed player, manages to turn back onto the right foot and sends the ball over the bar, and a couple of changes for Glynn Barntown, and a nice score by Luke Codd there.
It was, and in fairness to Michael Laffin in the middle of the field, it was kind of initiated by him. He had very, very strong running with the ball, and he gave a good pass off his right foot out to Ben McGuinness onto Luke Codd, and when Luke is 35 yards maybe from the goal, there's only going to be one result. So a very, very good score for Glynn Barntown. I think Chris Flood is the other player, and Conor McGuinness have gone off too, and Ben has come on, and Michael Laffin. So they're the changes that have been made. And
we've just one more change on the Glynn Barntown side made just while the goalkeeper was getting ready to kick out there. Colin Furlong, number 20, is in also for Glynn Barntown. So that's 3 changes now in the last couple of minutes, 2 at half time and 1 4 minutes into the second half for Glynn Barntown. And I think Gary Sutton is the man who's been replaced there, as Evan Kinlock, or Cian Kinlock, is breaking onto this ball, but he's well dispossessed, and the ball breaks again to Kinlock. Back here to Evan. Evan is trying to twist and turn. He scored 5 points in this game already. That kick, however, is going to land in short, in as far as Pascal Carley, who's had a man of the match performance so far. That pass was a little bit hurried, but back here now with Evan Kinlock and a shot gathered by Pascal Carley. He won't be beaten from that distance, certainly anyway, Tom, on the basis of what we've seen so far.
Although it was a tricky ball, it was just under the crossbar, but well dealt with by Pascal.
A few probably wrong options there from Crossabeg, just from Evan Kinlock, just another foul there. But things starting to heat up a bit here, Peter, I think.
Yeah, we can certainly hear the crowd getting involved. There was a bit of an incident here that everyone got very exercised over. I think the 2 number 9s maybe were involved, but
I don't think Conor Shovlin will die from the bang he got there, I have to say. So I don't know whether Damien will take any action, but it was fairly harmless, I think, with the 2 of them. But it's turned over the free, which is a problem for Glynn Barntown.
Just enough to overturn the free, and not enough
I do it myself, Bill, so I would.
No fault in it.
And Killian Joyce has gathered up the ball, and I'm not sure what way the referees. Glynn Barntown free, I think. Yeah, there was a couple of guys tackling there, and obviously
there's the Barntown. They're coming out of the traps a lot quicker in the second half here, and especially this fella, Luke Codd, is proven tough to handle for Crossabeg Ballymurn.
Luke is trying to just make enough room to shoot. He has Tom Butler back here. Tom skips past Shane O'Rourke and has room to take a strike and sends it over the bar, and that's at this level, Tom, you don't see very many better scores than that.
It was super score and great play by Luke Codd. Threw it back out to Tom Butler. He sidestepped his man, just stuck inside, and from probably 40 metres or 40 yards out, straight over the middle of the bar. An absolutely super score from Tom Butler. And if Glynn Barntown can get fellas like Luke Codd, Tom Butler, Michael Laffin, guys like that, Killian Joyce, if they can get them on the ball, this could be a lot tighter by the end of the game than we think, James
White with the kick out, broken onto here, and Crossabeg Ballymurn maybe will be looking to get that score back. The ball forward is won by Colin Furlong. Colin back to Jeremy Getterick, and forward again here as far as Michael Laffin, who has made a difference since he's come on. David Roach now skips clear. Laffin continues the run to provide an option, but Glynn Barntown certainly seem to have their confidence up and their intensity up as Michael Laffin finds himself in loads of space. The shot from Laffin has gone over the bar, and Bill, this is a totally different level of intensity from Glynn Barntown in the second half so far.
Yeah, like just bad mistakes from Crossabeg that are capitalised on Barntown, and they're running game just all the way up the field. He had 4 or 5 options there coming up the field, and especially the subs, Michael Laffin making a big impact since he came on. But look, it's back to a 4-point game, and if you're a Glynn Barntown man now, I think you'd be happy enough.
James White with the kick out, goes all the way past Joe Kelly and in as far as Barry Coughlin, but it's well defended by Chris Furlong. Jeremy Getterick is there. Zers perhaps pushed, and a free now to Glynn Barntown.
I was just saying Michael Laffin has made a huge difference to the game, and Colin Furlong has done very, very well since he's come on, but David Roach is getting on the ball, but it's a different game than we've been watching so far, and it's interesting to see now whether Crossabeg will rue the missed chances.
Dan O'Regan with the hand pass off to Rory Fenlon. Rory is dispossessed well by Michael Cullen, who's been impressive enough so far, and back here with Declan Byrne. Bit of short passing there from Crossabeg Ballymurn, nearly went astray, and the linesman Aidan Foley has the flag up, and it's going to be a line ball now to Glynn Barntown, and Crossabeg probably needs something to help settle down a little bit in this second half. Bill.
Like Glynn Barntown's intensity in the second half has been second to none, and Jerry seem up for it. There's probably, maybe, as Tom said in the first half, maybe a bit of nerves or whatever, but it's definitely a different game here in the second half, Peter.
And Tom Butler took that one from one step inside the line, which you can't do, so it's going to be thrown in, and a little bit of a naive mistake there perhaps to do that.
Just the oceans of space there in the Glynn Barntown side of the field. They're just attacking in waves at the moment.
So the throw up is between Michael Laffin and David Keogh, punched by Laffin, and there was a small little push there on Aaron Cummins by Luke Codd, and Cummins gets the game going again quickly to Declan Byrne, but that pass a little bit loose. Josh Waldron manages to get a foot on it to send it over the far side as far as Joe Kelly. Joe back to Conor Shovlin. Good ball in towards Barry Coughlin. We haven't seen any marks so far in this game. Chris Furlong wins it and is tackled a little bit overzealously there by Cian Kinlock. Furlong lays it off to Michael Laffin. Michael just delayed a little bit too much, and that one was blocked down, and back with Crossabeg Ballymurn and Cian Kinlock again. Barry Coughlin is making a run further forward. He's been chased by Chris Furlong.
Colin actually, yeah.
Sorry, Colin Furlong, yeah. Good ball in here towards Owen O'Connor. Owen gathers it just outside the 45-metre line, and Conor Gormley has loads of space, and there's a chance here now for Crossabeg Ballymurn. Shane O'Rourke's inside, chance for them. Pascal Carley is quickly off the line, and it just creeps wide at the left-hand post. And again, although he didn't get a touch to it, I think the rushing out by Pascal Carley put enough pressure on Shane O'Rourke to panic him into the shot a little bit, Tom. Maybe.
He did, there's no doubt about that, but really it has to go down as a miss, you know. I mean, I thought it was brilliant. Who actually gave the pass in that time?
Conor Gormley just went back.
He timed the pass so well. He actually gave it perfectly. And, you know, lads, to win county finals, you really do have to put those away.
Yeah, and that's four golden opportunities there that Crossabeg have missed. Hopefully they don't ruin at the end of the game.
Conor Shovlin was just clipped heels there, and Joe Kelly has won the ball from the free, and a chance for Crossabeg Ballymurn to go on the attack again. Inside here to David Keogh. David was dominant in the first quarter in the air, particularly from those kick-outs, and it's offloaded here again as far as Joe Kelly. That's landed in short. Pascal Carley deals with it. Barry Coughlin is there trying to put the pressure on, but Carley flicks it out to Barry Ryan, and Glynn Barntown have a chance to maybe launch an attack again in here to the middle of the field. Killian Joyce has won it well with only one hand available, and tries to get away from Declan Byrne. Offloaded here as far as Donald Buckley, and Glynn Barntown really have their tails up. There's a great chance of a score here from Donald Buckley. He's not really sure whether to go for the goal or the point. Inside, and it's intercepted there by Conor Shovlin. A little bit of hesitation by Buckley there, Tom, in what was a great chance.
Yeah, I think maybe Donald could have elected to put it over the bar that time, Peter, you know, because that would have left a 3-point game and a lot of pressure on Crossabeg. But it's one fantastic game of football, lads, out there, you know, under the conditions. Really great stuff.
And Crossabeg Ballymurn have a free there. There was a bit of I think there was a small bit of a high tackle there by one of the Glynn Barntown men, and a free for Crossabeg.
I think as well, Peter, Glynn Barntown, they've used their bench very, very well in the second half. I mean, they've really sprung into action at the moment, and, you know, it'll be interesting to see where Crossabeg go with subs now at the moment, because there is a little bit more pressure on at the moment. And
just as we mentioned subs for Crossabeg, Matthew Sludds is in, and straight away announces his intentions by running straight into Barry Ryan, but Matt is in for, I'm not quite sure, Bill, did you see who's gone off? It's at the far side there.
Yeah, Barry Coughlin's actually gone off for Crossabeg, so I think Crossabeg just need to settle themselves and just take they're making probably the wrong choice at times. Just need to get the man in the right position and take the score.
Here now with Conor Shovlin. Conor has a bit of time to survey the options and sends it over to his midfield partner, David Keogh. Hand pass forward, and Crossabeg maybe just want to keep their hands on the ball for the next few moments, but that's a very loose pass. It's gone as far as Thomas Doyle and Jeremy Getterick now, and there's plenty of movement again in this Glynn Barntown forward line. Luke Codd is there and Rory Fenlon is there, but it skips past both of them, and Declan Byrne wins the ball. He has an advantage being played to him. I think they'll just keep the ball and play on here as Conor Shovlin has it now. Tackled by Luke Codd, but brushes him aside, and off here to Billy Roach. Kick inside to Shane O'Rourke was not good, however, and Rory Fenlon intercepts it back to McGetterick, and Fenlon again with the 1-2, and here with Michael Laffin, who's tearing away from Billy Roach, but coming across there to tackle is Aaron Cummins. The ball is close to the line. The referee blew the whistle for some reason. There was no flag went up.
I don't think the flag went up, no, because the linesman, so he's just, maybe he is, yeah.
I'm not sure what that, maybe was he?
Yeah. It's gone up now.
It's gone up because I think it was taken inside the line again, so that's the third time it's been taken inside the line.
Probably a good call for Crossabeg Ballymurn, since he kicked it straight to a Glynn Barntown man there, so
maybe he knew what he was at in a funny way, Bill. Consultation there with Damien and Budda.
So the ball is going to be thrown in. Should be thrown in at least 13 metres in from the sideline, but maybe not quite, but near enough, as the ball goes up here between Dan O'Regan and Joe Kelly. Broken down here. Shane O'Rourke wins it for Crossabeg Ballymurn, and is fouled. Perhaps a little bit of the soft variety, but it's still a free. And Crossabeg Ballymurn, there's plenty of space in the full forward line here for Evan Kinlock, and David Keogh sends it across here, but a little bit of hesitation, and it's intercepted, and Billy Roach, there was a foul. There's a foul on David Roach there by Billy Roach, and the referee is going to have a word, I think, with Billy Roach there, Bill.
Yeah, look, it was a very loose ball out, first of all, I suppose, but maybe a late foot in there by Billy. But just the passes from Crossabeg Ballymurn are just a bit loose at times. Probably just need to spread it out wide and just work it through the hands and just get a score on the board, because I suppose it's all Glynn Barntown at this stage.
So that's a yellow card there for Billy Roach, who's the Crossabeg Ballymurn captain. Free taken short as far as Jeremy Getterick. Back inside again to Dave Roach, who was the man who was fouled in that incident, and it's forward here to Donal Buckley. Donal straight away opts to take the shot and send it over the bar, and there was no hesitation that time, Tom.
No, Donal took the alright option, and again you take it for granted, but it was 33-4 yards out, and a lovely score. And I have to say David Roach did incredible work the whole way up along to that as well, because he really won a ball that he was 40-60 on that time before the booking, and we have a 3-point game, and we wouldn't have said that halfway through the first half.
James White with the kick out, sent over towards the far side. Ball breaks to the ground. Michael Laffin gets a toe to it. Owen O'Connor is there for Crossabeg Ballymurn. He got a great point in the first half. The ball breaks here again to Michael Laffin for Glynn Barntown and Colin Furlong. A little bit of hesitation there by Tom Butler, but still has the ball, and it's sent low in towards Rory Fenlon in the full forward line. Good defending again by Michael Cullen, but Fenlon is tenacious there and gets to the breaking ball, and he's dispossessed by Cullen, and the linesman's flag, Philip Murphy, has gone up at the far side there. Which way is he going to point now? It's straight up at the moment. Taken by Glynn Barntown inside here to Killian Joyce, and there's a chance of a goal here now. It's worked well. Killian Joyce with a shot. It comes off the top of the crossbar and over the bar, and we're back to a 2-point game, and Crossabeg Ballymurn are really living dangerously here, Bill.
Yeah, they ever since the half-time break, look, they haven't come out of the traps, and they just need to get another foothold in this game, get the main players, the experienced players on the ball, settle them down, and just start knocking over points. Because look, as Tom said, at half-time you wouldn't think it'd be back to a 2-point game here, but here we are. You can't take anything for granted, and they might just rue a few goal chances they had in the first half there.
There's a little bit more, when things happen like that as well, Bill, when you lose, when you don't score your goal chances, there's a bit more panic about Crossabeg on the ball. They're not as composed on the ball now at the moment. There is more intensity from Glynn as well, I'd say, but it's getting a little bit harder out there for them,
It is, and as I said, the heat is probably playing a big factor there as well,
Yeah.
Shane O'Rourke wins that ball. It was a good challenge by David Roach, and it's back here now with Matty Sludds, who's not in that long, and there was a blatant push in the back on Conor Shovlin there, so a free now, and Shovlin looks to be very tired, Bill. He's certainly covered an awful lot of ground here in this game.
Yeah, look, especially at this stage of the game, after playing coming into the first water break of the second half, like a midfielder, the legs start to get tired, and it's really a test of fitness of both teams here. So look at it, especially when you're with the wind, it's possibly easier to play against, but Crossabeg just need to settle down, just find the space in the full forward line, draw the free or take on the man, because I don't know how much of Crossabeg scored in the first half, Peter, or second half.
I don't think they haven't scored since half time.
Has there been? Trying to think now.
They were 1-8 at half time.
Yeah. So there's been no score for Crossabeg in the second half, as Donal Buckley, who's had a powerful second half so far, sends this low ball in towards Luke Codd, who's got 3 points for the Glynn Barntown team. Hand pass off here to Kieran Joyce. Kieran has the ball, but he's tackled well by Aaron Cummins there. The ball breaks clear. Who's going to get first to it? Michael Laffin was there, but just stepped over it, and it's won back here by Crossabeg Ballymurn. The two number 7s collide there. Conor Gormley sends it forward as far as Keane Kinlock. Keane has been chased by Thomas Doyle, and the pass is loose, and it's gone all the way over there as far as Kieran Joyce, and Glynn Barntown have the chance to go on the attack again. Shovlin is out after him, he's up after that foul moments ago. Back here again with Tom Butler, and Michael Laffin is here as well, as there was a Crossabeg Ballymurn man looked like he was about to be brought in as a sub. Conor Murphy was warming up there and had the jumper off, so maybe he'll be introduced in a few moments time, as Glynn Barntown are trying to make something happen here again. But again, Aaron Cummins defends this one well, and there's a foul there and a free out.
We haven't had a water break either, have we?
No, 18 minutes played.
Just wondering, is he thinking about the water break? But I tell you, it's some game of football out there, lads. Talk about the pride of the parish. Everything has been left on the field now from both sets of players.
I think someone has just reminded Damien about a water break, so we might get it after the next stoppage in play here, as the ball is kicked clear, and Crossabeg Ballymurn, there's oceans of space here up the far wing at the far side, and it's being kicked ahead here now, as the scoreline is 1-8 to 9 points with Crossabeg Ballymurn leading. They got into a big lead early on and have managed to stay in the lead, but it's been dwindling away in this second half. Keane Kinlock here scored 1-1 in the first half, hasn't got anything yet in the second half. Kinlock is trying to get through. He can't get through that wall at Glynn Barntown jerseys. Jeremy Getterick gets a hand to it, and it's back here with Glynn Barntown again, and Thomas Doyle. A little bit of indecision there maybe in the Crossabeg Ballymurn forward line, but Glynn Barntown are the ones who have their tails up at the moment. Tom Butler has Killian Joyce inside, but Butler still with the ball, took plenty of steps out of it. A shot from Tom Butler is saved, but it's deflected, and it's a goal for Glynn Barntown. I'm not sure, I think it was Luke Codd got the last touch on the ball, and I'd be very surprised if it looks like there's going to be a bit of consultation here, but I don't think it was the square ball, Tom, really.
I don't, because generally the football is a bit different now. It's been marked down, it's a goal. Dubious now, I have to say, and I'm trying to keep my Fair's hat on, because when when it leaves the man's foot, but he was very close to the goalkeeper when it leaves his foot. But
just to point out, like, that all came back from the full back line of Glynn Barntown, turning over the ball all the way up the field, and just picking the man in the right place, and resulting in a goal. And Crossabeg are going down a point down into the second half second half, I suppose. But look, it's only a 1 point game. It's still out to play for. Crossabeg are still getting the chances. They're just making the wrong choice at the wrong times, I think.
Yeah, and you know what? It's an incredibly dramatic match, but as we were saying earlier, Bill, this game could have been out of the reach bar. And in fairness, Pascal Carley, he's just probably put in a man of the match award at the moment performance. And a lot of the changes that were made at half time, I think, have worked very, very much. Michael Laffin, Colin Furlong, guys like that have done very well. Lads have done very, very well since they come on. But we didn't see a 1-9 to 1-8 scoreline with 10 minutes to go for Glynn Barntown. And do you know what? It's going to be a big, big test of character for Crossabeg Ballymurn now to come back from this, I think. And
Bill, just from the sub point of view, Crossabeg Ballymurn, have we anyone likely to be introduced? I suppose Conor Murphy was almost been brought on there. Maybe he'll be in shortly. Is there anyone else that can change a game there?
Look, Conor Murphy's a fit young man as well. Like Vinnie Sullivan there, somewhere around the full forward line is always good for a few scores. Like they've already brought on Matty Sludds. Like you still have a young bench there, and I do think there's tired legs out there, and I think there needs to be change to be made, because he said it worked out very well for Glynn Barntown with all the subs that they made. Hopefully it'll have the same effect for Crossabeg Ballymurn. I said, look, Barntown are on top, but it's still only a point game, or a point down, but there's a lot to play for still.
And perhaps we know Owen Keogh has been a main scorer in chief for Crossabeg Ballymurn in the previous games. Perhaps there might be a few minutes in him, maybe, even if he is struggling with a hamstring injury. Yeah,
tweaking the hamstring, and he did the warm up, but I think he said to the management it wasn't to be. But I said when the game's in the melting pot like it is now, he could be good for a score or two, especially in the county final and local derby like we have here.
And it seems as if Glynn Barntown have made another substitution. Their own Whitty, number 23, is into the action. So,
and it is a day for subs, because it's, in fairness to everybody, it's impossible to kind of keep going out there. I'd say it's very, very dehydrating and that. But just looking from Glynn Barntown as well, Jeremy Gettrick has done very, very well. He's been really driving. I think he's a Mayo man originally, but he's really driving from the full back line as well for Glynn Barntown.
And a high kick out is won by David Roach, who's had a very good second half here for Glynn Barntown. I think it might have been Rory Fenlon who was replaced at that water break there. So Owen Whitty is in for Rory Fenlon, as there's about 10 minutes of time left plus injury time to play here. David Roach lays it off here to the man that was just brought in, Whitty. Can he make something happen here? Inside to Michael Laffin. Michael is just inside the square, but just can't get enough room to get a shot away. It's hand passed out, and it finds its way back here to Luke Codd. Luke off the right foot, and the ball has gone over the bar, and Glynn Barntown now lead by 2, and this has been a remarkable turnaround for Glynn Barntown, Bill.
Yeah, like I said, Crossabeg are failing to score in the second half, which is a big worry. I know they're against the win, but at the same time, they had the chances, but they just didn't use them. But they're I said 2 points. You just need to get the ball up the field. I said use the long ball like they were using the first half. Get the Kinlocks on the ball, and I think it could still be there for them. But I said Barntown have their tails up now, and they just need to overcome this.
So Matty Sludds with the ball now, trying to make a bit of ground with it, but he's dispossessed expertly there. That was a great piece of defending by Thomas Doyle, and then cleverly throws the ball into the crowd as well.
He does, yeah, and Thomas has done awfully well there in the second half as well. Back in a more familiar position for him at the moment, but the intensity just is incredible from Glynn in the second half. Their tackling that is really, really good. So
Matty Sludds with the ball, it's sent in long towards the 20-metre line, but Jeremy Gettrick wins the breaking ball and has the presence of mind to pick out Tom Butler with a good hand pass, and Butler sends it further forward as far as Kieran Joyce. Kieran low ball in towards Luke Codd in the corner, and Owen Whitty's making a run off the shoulder. Cod gets around Aaron Cummins that time, and there's another chance here for Cod. He's got 4 points already. Will he add a fifth? He will. The crowd are cheering at the far side. 1-5 for Luke Cod now overall. And
I think Pascal Carley has a competition for man of the match here now at this stage. There's no doubt about that, but absolutely brilliant stuff from Luke Cod. But the game has totally taken a flip in that everything that happened in the first half is flipped over to happening for Glynn Barntown in the second half, and it's an amazing second half performance, but it's not over yet.
Certainly not over yet, as Shane O'Rourke wins that kick out. A good kick out from James White, picked out O'Rourke, and Declan Byrne has it now. There's maybe a little bit of lack of movement maybe in the forward line here for Crossabeg Ballymurn, and Declan Byrne has to go back as far as Cian Kinlock here. Cian is being chased by Owen Whitty, and Michael Laffin is there too, but Kinlock still with the ball. Forward here to Shane O'Rourke. Shane with that, as we said, that unusual kicking style, but it's effective. It gets all the way in towards Billy Roach and back to Kinlock again, and there's a chance here for Crossabeg Ballymurn, and another fabulous save by Pascal Carley.
Yeah, the man of the match war is going tit for tat here now, Tom, I tell you.
Tit for tat, depends on who wins. We'll have to go back to a Crossabeg man if it goes that way, but certainly in the two boys have been inspirational in the two ends of the field there at the moment.
Point blank save, in fairness to him, and you know, it always looks easy from up here, but it's not easy to stand in front of that ball.
So a 45 and an important one as well for Crossabeg Ballymurn. They haven't scored so far in this second half. If you're only joining us, the half-time score was 1-8 to Crossabeg Ballymurn and 4 points to Glynn Barntown. So it's been 1-7 to no score in this second half here, but maybe things can change. Matthew Sludds has the ball here on the 20-metre line, trying to twist and turn and get away, and there is a chance of a goal, but it passes a little bit loose, and it's won and fouled on Killian Joyce, and the ball was tried to be hand passed over there to a spare man, but Killian Joyce managed to intercept it and win a free as well at the same time. So an important interception there.
It was, and I'd say, Peter, and I don't know if Bill agree with me, I think Crossabeg should be actually pumping the ball over the bar now at the moment, because they have time, and you know it could have been a 2-point game, but if Glynn Barntown get down and get another, it turns into a 4-point game. So 3 points in it at the moment. So
yeah, there's plenty of time left.
Plenty of time left, you know.
I think Glynn Barntown just look a small bit fitter. They're running off the ball, and their tackling and harrying is just that bit better. As I said, it's just like nearly a game of two halves here. But
Colin Furlong lays it off here to that man again, and Luke Cod has a 1-6 now for Glynn Barntown, and
It's just what I was saying, you know, it probably should be 2 points at the moment, but Crossabeg didn't take the opportunity when it came up, so now it's 112 to 1-8. It's a big deficit now.
David Keogh claims the mark from that kick out and sends it forward here. It's a loose pass again, and Killian Joyce is there. He's had a powerful game for Glynn Barntown, winning plenty of dirty ball out around the middle of the field and in the full forward line in the first half. Won a couple of important frees when Glynn were struggling to score, but it's here now with Michael Laffin. Michael just hesitates a bit and is bottled up by 2 Crossabeg Ballymurn men, but manages to break clear again and has a bit of space in front of him now, being chased by Josh Waldron, but it's laid off over towards the far side to Kieran Joyce. Kieran has a head up looking for options. Maybe Glynn are content enough to keep the ball for the last 5 minutes of the game. They're unlikely to be able to keep it for the whole 5 minutes, but if they can frustrate Crossabeg Ballymurn, it'll certainly make things difficult for Crossabeg to come back into the game again. But it's back with Ballymurn now. David Keogh with the ball. Killian Joyce is putting the pressure on. Keogh over here to Declan Byrne, and Matthew Sludds is here as well. Can Crossabeg Ballymurn make something happen to get back into the game? Shane O'Rourke with a long direct kick in towards the full forward line. That's an excellent ball in as far as Evan Kinlock. Laid off here to Billy Roche. Back to Kinlock again. The shot, a low ball, and a save again from Pascal Carley. There's no getting past this man, it seems, today. Well, he was beaten once in the first half, but there wasn't much he could have done about that one in the first half. But Pascal Carley and Luke Cod are really
just fantastic, and you know what, that could be just the last string of the bow for Crossabeg. I don't know whether you agree with me, but really they needed that ball to go into the net, I think.
Yeah, look, when you have someone on form like Pascal Carley there, like he's an iron curtain there at the moment, like, and not easy shots to be stopping either. But that's 6. That could be 6 shots on goal, I think.
Yeah.
You know, and even if you hit in, you got 3 points off them, which they didn't, it would be huge. But look, it's just one of those days. Some days they go for you, some days they don't.
And Luke Codd in the meantime has taken a shot there. He was aiming for a 7th point, but it's gone wide. And I think, unless I missed one or two, I think that might be only Glynn Barntown's 2nd wide in the game.
Yeah,
so they've been fairly economical in front of goal with their chances.
And I see the Crossabeg mentors now, they're saying, lads, will you put the ball over the bar, because it's just one of those days that the ball just won't go under the bar for them,
And once you get within that one score, or even if you can get it back to 1 or 2 points, it's nearly like a referee will always nearly give a team a chance to get that last chance, won't they? So we'll see what happens now in the last few minutes. There's 3 minutes of normal time left plus injury time, and the ball breaks here to Matty Sludds. Forward here to Shane O'Rourke, and David Keogh is inside. David is tackled strongly by Barry Ryan and dispossessed. A good strong tackle by the centre back for Glynn Barntown here, and it's overturned. Ben McGuinness has it. A good pass forward to Owen Whitty. There's loads of space in front of Whitty here. Is he going to go himself? No, it's offloaded to Killian Joyce, and the ball breaks here. A great interception, or a vital piece of defending there by Josh Waldron, and the ball breaks clear as far as James White. James inside to Owen O'Connor. Owen in turn again to Michael Cullen, and the referee has noticed something there. I'm not sure exactly what it was.
Yeah, Ben McGuinness kind of followed through with the tackle that time, and I'd say he's going to get a yellow for that.
And there's a Crossabeg Ballymurn man down in the 45 here. I think it might be David Keogh.
I think in the middle,
I didn't see what happened.
He doesn't.
Did you?
No, he actually had the ball. He looks to be in a bit of bother there now.
It looks like a hamstring, I think, yeah. But I'd say with some of the players down there now, lads, there must be just sheer exhaustion, because talk about leaving everything on the field. It's been an incredible game of football, and and that searing heat down there, it's just been a tribute to all the players, to the 35 or 38 players that have been on the field at some point or other.
Yeah, and as you said, Tom, in modern day football, the amount of running in the game, and then you add that heat on top of it, it's like, you're talking cramps left, right and centre. But in fairness to the lads, they put in a monumental effort there, and it's been a cracking game. 4 points in and now, maybe 4 minutes to play. Probably Glynn Barntown might hold on unless a miracle happens now, but as you said, you never know.
And there's been a sub made on the Crossabeg Ballymurn team. David Keogh is still receiving attention, and perhaps they'll need to make another one, but in the meantime, Cathal Byrne, number 28, has been brought in place of Shane O'Rourke. And David Keogh is up. He's limping away, but seems to be going to try to continue anyway, as Matthew Sludds has the ball. Free is taken to Conor Shovlin. The ball goes through Shovlin's legs, and as far as Luke Codd, who's pushed in the back by Michael Cullen. And we're into the last minute now of normal time here in Chadwick's Wexford Park in the Enniscorthy Farm Systems Junior B Football Championship Final of 2020. The winner of this game, of course, will go into the Junior A grade, which is starting probably in about 2 weeks' time. So there'll be no rest for whichever of these teams wins the game. But Tom Butler overcarried that one. It was a little bit too lax in what he was doing there, as Matthew Sludds gets the game underway again. Conor Gormley with it. Can Crossabeg Ballymurn get the ball past Pascal Carley? They've created a heap of goal chances, but all bar one of them has been denied by Carley in the Glynn Barntown goal. The law of averages may be Bill that one of them might go in eventually, but it's going to have to happen fairly soon. It will have to happen very soon. And look, you can't blame anyone for going for goal, because there are all such golden opportunities. There's a bit of off the ball stuff here now, but a bit of frustration, I'd say, from Conor Shovlin here. But yeah, look, you have to hand it to Pascal Carley. He's been phenomenal in the goal all day, so it's you have to give him credit where credit's due, and all the goal chances were clear goal chances. So unfortunately, just one of those days where it just didn't go Crossabeg Ballymurn's way. Yeah. And I think as well, Bill, the game was played in a great spirit as well. There wasn't, by God, it was tough out there, but there wasn't really any dangerous or bad tackle, and well handled by Damien Donovan as well. It's been a really, really, really entertaining game, but I don't think there's a way back for Crossabeg at this stage. Well, we'll see that very shortly, as Jeremy Getterick seems to be one of the elder statesmen on this team, and has certainly put in a very good performance in the full back line for Glynn Barntown. Sent forward here as far as Killian Joyce, another man who's showed for plenty of ball, and as I said a few moments ago, won a couple of very important frees at important times for Glynn Barntown. Back here now with Donald Buckley. Donald takes the shot on the right hand side. It lands in short and is dealt with well by Michael Cullen. Out here to his cornerback colleague Aaron Cummins, and there's still life in Crossabeg Ballymurn, and there's still time. There's probably a minute or two left maybe with the injury to David Keogh and the few subs that have been brought in. Cathal Byrne was fouled and the referee was playing an advantage, so it's going to be back to a free here for Crossabeg Ballymurn, and something needs to happen now, but there's 2 scores in it, but I think there might be just time to get 2 scores, but they're going to have to be
fairly quick. There's 31 minutes 40 seconds played. I'm not sure how much injury, but yeah, look, if you go down, knock this over the bar and just and get possession in the next kick out, there's a bit of hope. As I said, never say die, but it will take a fairly monumental effort, Peter.
It's quite amazing the Crossabeg haven't scored since half time, though, Bill. You know, I mean, for a team that was so dominant in the first half, really.
Yeah, and created so much chances, Tom. Not saying they didn't create chances in the second half, just probably, as I said, made wrong options.
Yeah.
But look, and when you fail to score for so long, it gets harder and harder to knock it over. You know,
Yeah.
the pressure mounts on, and look at. I said, hopefully they'll get a chance here now.
Michael Cullen with the ball offloaded here as far as Keane Kinloch. Keane is tackled heavily by Barry Ryan, and Glynn have 14 men inside the 45-metre line here now, and who could blame them? There's 4 minutes left. Or sorry, there's not 4 minutes left, there's 4 points in it, I was going to say. As the long ball is in and there's a chance, but the ball breaks here to Thomas Doyle and there's no time left. The referee Damien Donovan blows the full-time whistle, and we really saw a fantastic second half performance by Glynn Barntown in particular. They outscored Crossabeg Ballymurn in this second half by 1-8 to no score, and really got their act together after a slow start in the first half, Tom.
Yeah, it was an amazing game, and the real game of 2 halves, I suppose, because Crossabeg, as I say, you know, Pascal Carley in the goal. You know, and given the day, given the issue, the father's in hospital, old Willie, who has done so much for Glynn Barntown GA Club, what a day for his son to pull out the performance of his absolute life, because that was one of the best goalkeeping displays I've seen in my time coming to football matches in Wexford Park, and well done to him. But down the field, Ballymurn had so many chances in the first half. If they had been popping them over when they were 1-8 to 4 points up, 1-9, 1-10, they certainly will look back and rue those missed chances, but you can't take away from Glynn's second half performance. They were, I thought you were right, Bill, a little bit fitter, and right down through the team, Jeremy Getterick, Barry Ryan, Dan O'Regan, all these, David Roach, I thought put in a fierce hour there in the middle of the field. Tom Butler, Thomas Doyle. We kind of got Donald Buckley and Thomas Doyle back into the defence. That made a big difference because that's where they're used to playing. Luke Codd was just absolutely outstanding. I don't know what Luke ended up with, a goal and 6 points, was it, in the end?
So, yeah.
And he was just incredible. Every ball that went into him, we were saying that in the first half, if they could get the ball into him, that was going to make a big difference. Killy McGuinness. I mean, they're all heroes. They never gave in. These lads have been training, I think, for the last, 12 months now at this stage. It's been a big win for Glynn Barntown, and just so thrilled for them now, I have to say. It's thrilled also for Patrick Nolan, Niall Donoghue, Bobby Goff, Mick Doyle, like 2 senior players, Mick Doyle and Rob Tierney, who've given a lot of time into these lads as well and training them. It's been a real team effort, and it's a huge, huge achievement. Commiserations to Crossabeg. For long periods, I think they were the best team on the field. They really look very, very good, but the sheer will of Glynn Barntown and the finish of Glynn Barntown, I have to say it was just fantastic.
And naturally, Bill, disappointment obviously from a Crossabeg Ballymurn point of view, but a big year ahead. Senior hurling back up there, intermediate football will certainly give that a good rattle, no doubt, and perhaps we'll see some of the guys who are playing here today on the first team as well, and obviously still potential to win this grade next year as well.
Yeah, look at the Crossabeg Ballymurn lads can hold their heads high, to give a phenomenal effort there. Look, they were unfortunate in the second half. Look, probably made the wrong option, as I said, probably could have knocked a few over the bar. But look, that was a result of Barntown's intensity as well, and hassling and harrying. But there's a lot of talent on that Crossabeg Ballymurn team, very young, as I said, and a lot of lads to filter into the intermediate football setup, and a lot of senior hurlers on there as well. So look, it's only the start of the year, really. It's mad to have a county final. Last county final of 2020 being played here in August 2021, but look, a lot of GA to be played in the year ahead, so hopefully we can drive it on in the intermediate football, and the senior hurling as well, and the junior B grades as well. So but just fair play to Glynn Barntown. Look, it's very impressive as well. They're a senior football team and intermediate for their second team, and now junior A for their third team. So look, the depth and and the players at their disposal in the club is huge. So look, as I said, they probably deserved it in the end. It was very much the game of two halves, but look, they just held on. Even with their 8 points down, they still held on to claim the victory. So fair play to them, and commiserations to Crossabeg Ballymurn.
And just to mention finally then to the Glynn Barntown players who didn't make it onto the field today, but no doubt trained as hard as anyone else that were there. Sean Murphy was just about to be brought on as the referee was blowing the final whistle. We had Ryan Long, Tim Gilhooly, Brendan Doyle, Dara Barron and Paul Leonard. So congratulations to those guys as well who didn't make it onto the field today, but no doubt put in a savage effort for their team. So overall a very good 2020 season for Glynn Barntown in terms of football. I think it was a senior football semi-final or quarter-final, an intermediate A football win and a junior B football win. So from a football point of view in Glynn Barntown, things are going very well, and congratulations to them on their fantastic victory here today.
Yeah, I suppose, and you add the minor Premier football title to it as well, so things are very healthy there. And in fairness, sometimes I think we put everything about winning as well, and to be competitive is important as well. And a great performance from some of the performances from Kinloch and his brother Evan, I presume it's his brother anyway. Yeah. In the first half, absolutely fantastic. Michael Cullen was top class, but great stuff, and a very enjoyable final.
Certainly was. So whether you were joining us from Crossabeg or Ballymurn or Glynn or Barntown or anywhere else across the world, we hope you enjoyed today's coverage. Congratulations to Glynn Barntown, commiserations to Crossabeg Ballymurn, and no doubt there will be plenty of more good enjoyable matches to come in the remainder of the 2021 season.